Give him a big hand, and at the end there'll be a major curtain call. After this, enjoy the rest of the finals week. This is the Arabian Nights. Enjoy the show.
One night found his wife in the arms of a slave. The world darkened for him. His soul grew sick, and he killed them both on the carpets of the bed. From then on, every night, he marries, loves, and kills a virgin girl. And when she dies, anything of him that she might have inside also dies. And he will never be betrayed again.
Friend, trust not at all in women. Smile at their promising, for they lower they love at the caprice of their hearts. Filled to the mouths with deceit, they lavish a lying love, even while the very fringe, trimming their silks, is faithless. Mild love today, tomorrow will give way to madness. Say not if I might love and yet escape the follies of loving, but rather, only a miracle brings a man safe from love.
This has gone on for 3 long years.
Lord, Shahryar.
Yes, whom do you have for me tonight?
No one, my lord.
What?
People are all in one cry of horror. There's no one left to serve for your assault. Those who have daughters left fled into the desert.
Have you no daughters, my noble wazir?
Oh, Lord Shahryar!
Faithful servant, have you no daughters? 2, I believe.
Dunyazad is only a child!
Dunyazad and Scheherazade. 2 girls I've heard who in the matters of beauty, charm, brilliance, and perfection are unrivaled, except by each other.
It is true.
Bring me Scheherazade tonight, and tomorrow bring me her shroud. And don't look so sad. You are about to be the father of a queen, if only for one night.
My father, why do you look so sad? No, father, that as the poet says, you who are sad, oh be comforted, for nothing endures. And just as every joy vanishes away, so also vanishes every sorrow.
Oh, heart of my heart, my daughter. I can bear it no longer. You must marry our king and die. Or else, let us flee into the desert, give up everything we have.
By Allah, I will marry this king. I'm filled to the mouth with stories, and I have a plan by which I will save the daughters of the Muslims. And Dunyazad will help.
Oh, heart of my heart.
Father, this is written in my destiny. Now bring me my wedding garments and sing me on my way.
Go and be comforted, child of the faithful. What he has written, no one can undo. Go and be comforted, child of the faithful. What he has not written, no one can do.
I keep the sweetness of my voice to sing to him. I keep my fairest verses in his praise. sweet enough to sing of him. My verses are too small to hold his praise.
What is that noise?
Only my sister, Prince of Time.
Stop her!
She's never spent the night alone.
Stop her now!
Denisa, don't cry. All alone lives forever. I know. Someday, Denisa, someday in the morning or the afternoon or in the night, we will be together again. Don't cry. But I cannot sleep without your stories.
What is she going on
I'll
about?
never hear your stories again. I'll never hear the tale of Alla Alden, or the contest of generosity, or of the dream, or the forgotten melody, or of sympathy, the learning. Oh, sister, have mercy.
What
Your
is
words
this?
are so sweet, pleasant to the taste. I cannot sleep without your stories.
I never sleep.
Oh, sister, tell us one of your tales of marvel. Tell it now. Gladly, and as a duty, if the great and courteous king permits.
It is permitted.
Have you heard, O auspicious king, of the great and glorious Harun al-Rashid?
It is related, but Allah is all-wise and all-knowing, that one night in Baghdad, a poor man lay down to sleep. While some in the city had fine carpets, and some in that city had fine palaces and fine pillows for their head, he had only the bare floor. In his little hut, at the end of a cobbled street, lined with palm trees, and a gray stone courtyard containing a dry and cracked little fountain with a design of birds upon it. All of us are equal in our sleep, and in our sleep, all of us may speak to God and hear our destiny revealed. This night, the poor man lay down to sleep, and a man came to him in a dream. My poor man, your fortune lies far away in Cairo. Go and seek it there.
Your fortune lies far away in Cairo. Go and seek it there.
The very next morning, the poor man set off for Cairo, and after many weeks and much hardship, he arrived in that city.
Night fell. He could not afford to stay at an inn, so he lay down to sleep in the courtyard of a mosque. That night, the robbers entered the mosque and from there broke into an adjoining house. Awakened by the noise, the owners raised the alarm and called for help.
The police arrived, found the poor man from Baghdad, beat him, and threw him into jail. 3 days later, the chief of police ordered his men to bring the poor man before him.
Where do you come from?
I come from Baghdad.
And what brought you to Cairo?
A man came to me in a dream saying, my poor man, your fortune lies far away in Cairo. Go and seek it there. But when I came, the fortune I was promised proved to be the beating your men so generously gave me.
What a fool to believe in dreams! Know this, I have heard a voice in my sleep, not once, but 3 times. It says, go to Baghdad and find a little hut at the end of a cobbled street, lined with palm trees, and a gray stone courtyard containing a dry and cracked little old fountain with a design of birds upon it. Under the old fountain, there's a great sum of money lies buried. Go there and seek it there. But did I go? Of course not, yet fool that you are. You have come all the way to Cairo for a strength on one idle dream. Here, Take this. It will take you back to your own country.
Poor man recognized at once that the house and garden described in the dream of the chief of police were his own.
Going back to Baghdad, city of peace and poets.
Your fortune is in the garden of your home. When the poor man arrived, he went into the garden, dug beneath the fountain, and uncovered a great treasure.
Your fortune lies in the garden of your home.
And thus, the words of the dream were wondrously fulfilled. Your fortune is in the garden of your home, and speaks to you in dreams.
One day in the marketplace of Baghdad, someone let fall a little bag and walked on without noticing.
What are you doing trying to make off with my bag? As if it was yours since the day you were born.
Oh, a Muslim has saved my goods from this wretched unbeliever who wishes to make off with my bag.
My bag is known, and well known. It is universally acknowledged to be a my bag.
Hold on here. Who is the plaintiff and who is the defendant?
Allah increase the power of our Qadi and judge. This bag is my bag. I lost it and found it again in the street today.
When did you lose it?
I lost it yesterday, and I could not sleep all night for thinking of it.
May Allah lift up and honor our master Khadi the judge. I lost this bag 2 weeks ago and have not slept for thinking of it since.
The truth can be uncovered soon enough. Whoever is the true owner of the bag shall best be able to describe its contents. Each of you give a list. Whoever's list is closest to the contents of the bag shall own the bag and everything in it.
O Khadi, there are in my bag 2 crystal flasks filled with coal, 2 silver sticks for putting on this coal, a handkerchief, 2 lemonade glasses with gilded rims, 2 cushions, a cook pot, 2 large dishes, 2 water basins, a large knitting needle, a rice jar, a pregnant cat, a cow with 2 calves, a sheep with 2 lambs, a lioness, a female bear, 2 racing dromedaries, a palace with 2 reception halls, a kitchen with 2 doors, an assembly of Kurds of my own calling, all willing to testify that this bag is a my bag.
Oh, Qadi. You say, in this bag, our own, a rude pavilion, a house without a kitchen, a large dog kennel, a boys' school, a robber's lair, an army of captains, the city of Brasa and the city of Baghdad, a fishing net, a walnut, 4 chest players, 2 longswords, 2 hares, a blind man, a far-seeing man, a ship with sailors, a ship with Christian priests and 2 deacons, and 12 untouched girls, and a Qadi and 2 witnesses ready to bear witness that this bag, it's my bag.
I ought to add that, in addition to the things I've already mentioned, there are in this bag headache cures, spells, and enchantments, armories filled with arms, and 1,000 rams trained for fighting. There's men who love women, and there's men who love men. There's vines laden with figs and apples and pears, and there's newlywed couples with all their marriage fresh about them. There's a bride stepping out of the bath, and there's 50 Persian women, there's 70 Turkish women, there's 80 Greek women, and there's 100 Indian women. There's a plank, a nail, a red-haired man playing the clarinet, the city of Kufa, the land of Iraq, the earth of paradise, and may Allah lift up and honor our master Qadi, but there is a razor for the beard of the Qadi. If the Qadi does not recognize my rights, say that this bag is my bag!
As all lives! Either you are 2 rascals mocking at the law and its representatives, or this bag is a bottomless abyss, or the valley of the day of judgment itself. Let us see what is in the bag. A little orange rind and 2 olive stones.
All right,
It's yours.
Allah is all-wise and all-knowing. There was once in the city of Baghdad a boy and a girl who loved each other from infancy.
Cool as a night.
In the Rawab Valley, where the rivers give and the breezes carry, it's ring with flowers where we'll marry.
When evening comes, the moon will yield silver to work in the carpets of her fields, and every single night we'll sing.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Cool as a night in the Rawab Valley, where the rivers give and the breezes carry. It's ringed with flowers where we'll marry. When evening comes, the moon will yield silver to work in the carpets of her fields, and every single night we'll sing.
14, 15, 16. But as they grew, the fortune of the boy's family rose, while that of the girl's fell.
Beloved, have you heard? My father and mother are forced to marry me to a sheik I'd never seen. Beloved, have you heard?
No,
I must leave tonight.
and you must be going. It's growing dark.
What? The sun is out. Can't you see?
No, it's growing dark.
What do you see?
Nothing. The sun wakes in your eyes. The moon sleeps in the hollow of your throat. I've heard that you're going. Now I'm growing blind from grief.
Say what's in your heart.
The desert.
When you passed on by my tent door, I said goodbye to all the world, forgetting how to love forevermore. When you passed on, if you come back the way you went, I pray you take my body up and set it in a calm grave by your tent when you come back. If your dear voice recalls the tones, the sweetness of the way you said my name, kneel down, dear love, and say the same. I'll answer with the clicking of my bones. Farewell.
Cheeks of surface silver, golden wrists with copper bangles, lake hair, wine, and black amber. Dreams are pictures in the book of sleep. And no more mine. No more mine forever.
Surely my new bride weeps as young girls do, because she has lost her mother. Happily, this does not last long. A kind word will cure her. Oh, light of my soul, why do you destroy the beauty of your eyes? If you are crying for your mother, say so, and I will fetch her to you instantly. If you are crying for your father, or one of your sisters, or your nurse, or some pet animal, such as a cat, a rooster, or a gazelle. Say so, and you'll no longer be separated from your desire. Is it the house itself for which you weep? The house where you were young? I'll take you back there at once.
My Lord, it isn't, I do not weep for my mother, my father, my sisters, or my nurse, or my pets. And I beg you, do not insist I give the reason.
Fairest girl on earth. Then I know what it is. You cry because I am repugnant to you.
No, by Allah, I have no aversion to you.
What is it then?
My tears are for a dear one in my house, a cousin with whom I grew up, a cousin who loves me and whom I love. Master, love is of the heart, and if love is torn away, then the heart is torn away also.
Dear mistress, the law of Allah and His his prophet, upon whom be prayer and peace, forbids one believer from snatching even a mouthful of bread from another by force. How then could I snatch away your heart? Rise up, my bride of a minute, and go with my full consent to your cousin. Give yourself to him and return here in the morning before the servants are awake. From now on, this is how we shall live. You are as my daughter.
A blessing be upon you.
She left that good man's house, glowing in the night in her happiness and her wedding jewels. But she had hardly gone 20 paces when,
By Allah, my lucky night. Nothing for 6 weeks and now a guest and all of her wedding jewels. Give me all your jewels and I'll smash them to the earth. As Allah lives, though you are the richest jewel of all. No, I'll have you whole, dear mistress. I will do you no harm if you are complacent. And I promise you a most blessed night if you come with me. No, I promise I will neither rob you nor harm you. But you must stop that crying.
Just when everything was going so well.
What's that you said?
Just when everything was going so well and I was going home to the one I loved.
What wedding were you at?
My own. My parents were forced to marry me to a sheik I'd never seen. But I've loved my cousin since infancy. And when I told the man that, he let me go.
He let you go.
Yes. He told me to consummate a marriage with my cousin and return home to him as his daughter.
He did that.
Yes.
He let you go just like that.
Yes, but now I've fallen into your hands. A thief is not like a sheep. Do with me what you will.
This cousin whom you speak of, where does he live?
In a garden, in a room, in a house on such a street.
Dear mistress, no one can ever accuse a man of my profession of interfering with the course of true love. I will now take you back to your cousin's house, as you might fall in with some vile thief along the way if you were to go alone. The wind is for all, and the flute is for one, but that one is not I.
so saying, he took the girl by the hand and escorted her as if she had been a queen up to the house of her beloved.
By Allah, I can see! Whose hands are these?
Muffin,
Who are you to speak in the voice of my
your cousin.
cousin? So where have you been?
She explained to him all that had happened to her on that strange night, but nothing can be gained by repeating it in this place.
What a generous man this sheep. You know, great deeds inspire greater deeds. Cousin, there's only one thing we can do. I must return you to this saint, untouched.
What?
Well, cousin, don't you agree after all he has done?
In the face of such virtue, what else can we do?
My children, do not tell me why you have come. I have already guessed. But you must know this. When a believer has claimed his wife to be the daughter of his flesh and blood, no power can give lie to his words. You owe me nothing, my children. I am in bondage to my oath. So saying, that good man gave his house and all of his goods to the two of them, and went to live in another city.
Perhaps you have heard from Rashid of the noble but most unfortunate Abdullah Hassan and his unfortunate indiscretion at his own wedding.
No.
Well then, my lord, there once was a great merchant, Abdullah Hassan, a man of exquisite refinement, of perfect and complete manners, who on his second year decided to take a wife. And so,
Rise up and sing the season. Abu al-San is getting married. A rich man and a gentleman, see how perfectly his form is carried. So dignified and somber, with elegance beyond comparing. His steps could teach a ship to sail. His glances warm the very air.
Abu al-Hassan took a slow and dignified step into the chamber, and to prove that he was a man of great manners, he went over to receive the good wishes of the old women. But at that moment, with a belly heavy full of meat and drink, he did something he did not mean to do. May Allah preserve us all from doing the same.
Excuse me. Oh,
What an enormous fart! Big beans!
How are we ever gonna live that down? Find a mountain and live in that town.
Boo, why do you look so sad?
I have lived in India for 10 years. I've been happy, prospered, but I long for my native land. For, as the poet says, the Ganges, the Ganges, silver river men put first. How can an Egyptian sate his native Egyptian thirst? Save in the smile of the mild Nile, save in the smile of the mild Nile. I can resist the solicitations of my soul no longer. I must return home.
Boo, wait!
And with that, Abu al-Hassan packed his bags and traveled through treacherous mountains filled with snakes, lions, and ghouls, until at last he reached the top of the hill and saw his native land. His heart swelled at the sight.
Oh, how beautiful is my native land. No doubt I am soon dead and long forgotten. I shall travel the streets in disguise, lest my poor old father see me unexpectedly, and the shock prove too much for him.
Father, what day was I born?
Why, you were born on the 12th day of Ramadan.
Father, what day was I born?
Why, you were born on the year and the day that Abu let out his fart.
My fart has become a date on the calendar? Shall live as long as the palm trees!
So he turned and fled, and he did not seize his flight until he reached India. Allah pity him.
By chance, all day I have been thinking of a story which concerns a girl called Sympathy the Learned. And I am ready to tell you all that I have heard of what she knew and what she did.
Begin at once.
One day, as Harun al-Rashid was sitting in judgment and feeling more than the usual weariness of his soul.
My lord, there is a young woman and a young man at our door who beg an audience.
Who are they?
My lord, the girl claims to be more learned than any man on earth. She wishes to challenge the masters of art and science of our kingdom to a contest of knowledge. She says she will claim the coat of honor of each sage over whom she is victorious. But if she is defeated by a single question, she will agree to be your slave.
Send her in at once. Now, all you theologians, doctors, and poets, you may examine the learning of this girl from all directions. Spare no pains in exhibiting your own scholarship and erudition. What is your name?
I am called Sympathy the Learned.
Tell me, Sympathy, in which of the various branches of knowledge do you excel?
My master, I have studied syntax, poetry, civil and canon law, music, astronomy, geometry, arithmetic, the law concerning inheritance, and the art of reading ancient inscriptions. I have carried my education so far that only those who have worn out their life in study may see it, as it were, upon the far horizon.
Now tell me, which of you is the most learned in the Quran and traditions of our Prophet, upon whom be prayer and peace?
I am that man.
Then let us begin. Ask me what you will of your own subject.
Who is your Lord?
My Lord is Allah.
Who is your prophet?
Muhammad, upon whom be prayer and peace, is my prophet.
What is your orientation?
Mecca.
Who are your brothers?
All believers are my brothers.
Since you know the Book of Allah, can you give an example of your study?
The Quran is composed of 114 chapters, 70 of which were dictated in Mecca and 44 in Medina. It is divided into 621 divisions called decades and 6,236 verses. It contains 79,439 words and 323,670 letters, each of which attach 10 special virtues.
Very precise. Tell me, how do you even know that there is a God?
By reason.
And where is the seat of reason?
In the heart, whence inspiration rises to the brain.
What is the aim of prayer?
It lifts my soul towards the commonplaces.
Yeah, that is an excellent reply. What is the value of prayer?
It sustains faith.
What is the utility of prayer?
True prayer has no terrestrial use whatsoever, but it lightens the heart.
An admirable reply. Tell me, what are the meanings of the words to fast?
To abstain.
Speak to me of holy war.
Holy war is that undertaken against infidels when Islam is in danger. It must only be used for defensive purposes, never offensive.
What is the principal aim of life?
To cultivate enthusiasm.
In truth, I am short of questions and arguments. This girl astonishes me with her knowledge and clarity.
I will in turn like to ask one question. If you cannot answer, it will be my right to take away the distinctive garment that you wear being a learned reader of the book.
I accept.
What are the 17 branches of Islam?
17?
Give us the answer, and the robe belongs to you.
They are observance of the book's teaching, confirmation of the traditions of our prophet, avoidance of injustice, to eat permitted food, to never eat unpermitted food, repentance, study of religion, to be modest, to do good to enemies, to pardon when one is strong, to know Allah, to know his prophet, upon whom be prayer and peace, to resist the temptations of the evil one, to fight wicked instincts of the soul, and to be wholly confirmed in the service of Allah.
I am vanquished.
Who is next?
You have spoken of things of the spirit. Let us turn to things of the body and the world. Tell me, what do you think of fruit?
It is the healthiest of foods.
Give an exact account of copulation.
My lord, I am able to answer this honorable doctor, but the honorable doctor is attempting to shame me into silence.
Speak freely. No one will laugh at you.
Copulation is that act which unites the sexes of men and women. It is an excellent thing with many benefits and conferring many virtues.
What lives in prison but dies when it breathes the free air? Also, what are the best fruits?
The first of fish, the second citrons and pomegranates.
What breathes and yet is lifeless?
The morning, for in the book it says...
Thank you! Thank you. Solve the following problem if you can. A flock of pigeons alight upon a tree, some upon the upper branches, and some upon the lower. Those upon the upper branches say to those upon the lower, if one of you flies up to us, our numbers double. But if one of us flies down to you, our numbers will be equal. Take your
There were
time.
12 pigeons in all, 7 upon the upper and 5 upon the lower, for if one below was to fly above, there would be 8 above, which is double of 4. And if one of the upper was to fly below, there would be 6 in each position, but Allah is all-knowing.
Do you think we'll have rain this month?
Commander of the faithful, I will not speak unless I have permission to reveal all of my thoughts.
It is permitted.
Then I ask you to lend me your sword, so I may cut off the head of this astronomer, who is an agnostic and an unbeliever. I must teach you that there are 4 things that only Allah knows: the hour of our death, the sex of a child in its mother's womb, what's going to happen tomorrow, and whether or not it's going to rain.
My question was asked to test you.
Then let me ask my question. What are the 3 classes of stars?
3 classes of stars.
The stars are divided into 3 classes. The first are fixed like torches in the celestial vault that they may illuminate the earth. Others suspend invisibly in the air that they may illuminate the sea. And the third class of stars live at will between the fingers of Allah, and we see them most at night. Give me your robe.
Young lady, I am the most learned man of our century, and I am ready to hear you declare yourself vanquished, and that it is unnecessary to question you further.
And I advise that you send for garments other than what you have on, because for a few moments I want to take this from you.
That remains to be seen. Answer this riddle. When I drink, eloquence issues from my lips. I walk and I speak in silence. I am never honored in my life, and after my death I am not regretted.
A pen.
I am a bird. I have neither flesh, flock, feathers, nor down. It is hard to say whether I am alive or dead. My color is silver and gold.
You have taken far too many words to signify a single egg. Ask me something more difficult.
What is the origin of creation?
Allah made Adam from mud, mud from foam, foam from the sea, sea from darkness, darkness from light, light from a fish, fish from a ruby, ruby from a rock, rock from water, and water by saying, let it be.
Ya Allah. That is an excellent reply.
Now answer me, master of riddles. She is slim, tender, and of delicate tints. She is as straight as a lance, but not a lance's sharpness. And her sweetness is most useful on the night of Ramadan.
My lord, it is well known that no woman
Give me
is
your
to
robe!
My lord!
Sugarcane! Sugarcane is the answer. Give me your robe.
May I examine you?
I would be delighted.
What is sweeter than honey?
The love of children.
What is sharper than the sword?
The tongue.
What is the joy of a moment?
The joy of love.
What is the joy of a week?
The joy of marriage.
What is a debt which even the wicked cannot escape repaying?
Death.
What comes to us all in the end?
Happiness.
What makes a king?
Words.
What makes the world?
Words.
What can destroy a kingdom?
Words.
Will you marry me and be my queen?
No.
I could compel you.
I know.
I would give you 500,000.
My lord, I am a free-born woman of noble birth. I have not always lived like this. This boy you see carrying my parasol is my brother. When my father died, he left us an abundant fortune, but my brother squandered our inheritance. Yet, as Allah lives, I love him, because my hidden heart is foolish, and I will not leave him.
My child, I could provide you with 100 slaves to hold your
Then keep
parasol.
them, and leave my brother his only task. For if you were to deprive him of it, he would die of shame. I beg of you to deny us your great offer and let us go on our way.
My child,
Kings do not need sympathy. She must lie with those less fortunate.
Scheherazade, my wondrous girl, you've lifted the veil from my heart.
My king.
You must never leave me now. You must stay here by my side and whisper in my ear only to me. You are safe here now, I swear.
My king. I know the hour is late, but I have one more story, one more very subtle tale to tell. Let it be 1,001 nights before you grow weary.
I shall never grow weary.
Then listen to the tale of the forgotten melody. It comes down to us from the writings of Ishaq Masul, the great musician of our time. That
stranger there, a sheik from Al-Hijaz.
Honorable musician, you will be pleased to know this man. For he is Al-Fadil, the grandson of Mabad of Al-Hijaz.
A benediction, prayer and peace upon the grandson of the most accomplished musician of our age.
Perhaps, if you are agreeable to him, he will sing you one of his grandfather's songs. He has a fine memory and a charming voice.
Most noble Sheikh Al-Fadil, tell me, if you will, how many songs your grandfather composed.
Only 60.
Patience if I beg you to name your favorite.
Oh, easily. The finest of them all is the 43rd.
Without hesitation, he picked up his lute and began to play. And as he played, the walls of the room moved closer in to listen. And time was frozen in my blood. And I left the prison of my skin and became other than myself. How can I describe? How can I... How...
Would you like me to play it over for you? Or shall I have it transcribed? I will be leaving for Medina in the morning, and I doubt I shall pass this way again.
No, I will remember it. I will remember it all my life. Thank you, Sheikh Al-Fadil, and your grandfather Mabad. Bless the Moon musicians. I stuffed carpets and pillows in the windows and by the doors, and rushed home. This ancient song, which no one else has heard, shall now be mine, and I shall keep it for myself and play it only for myself in my solitude. I took down my lute and tuned it to perfection. But as Allah lives, I could not remember the air that had moved me so. I could not remember one note of it. Could not even call to mind the mode in which it had been written. I can usually retain 100 couplets in their melody when I have listened once with a negligent ear, but this time it was as if an impenetrable woolen curtain had fallen between the music and my mind. Night and day I racked my brains and spurred them to remember, but it was useless. At last, in my despair, I left my lute and all my students and all my singing lessons behind and went journeying throughout Baghdad, through Mosul and Basra, and finally throughout the whole of Iraq, questioning the older singers concerning Mabad's 43rd song. But none of them knew it, or could help me to it. Rather than be ridden eternally by this obsession, I made up my mind to cross the desert to far Medina, to find the sheikh himself and beg him to sing the song again. I was in Basra, riding by the river, when I came to this conclusion. Suddenly, a young woman appeared from nowhere.
A benediction, traveler.
Let go, let go!
Will you not answer me?
Oh, please, just let me go!
Where's your passion for Mabad's 43rd song, O Ishak? Have you given up your search? I was behind the curtain of the harem, Ishak. I watched when that old man played you his song. Ishak, I thought you had gone mad.
I am madder now than ever searching for that song. For pity's sake, let me go on.
If I sing you that song, will you still go to Medina?
Don't torture me.
By Allah, I know that song, and I may teach it to you.
I would give anything to hear that song again, even if it were sung off key, even if it were cut. I would give 10 years of my life to recover one note of that song.
Ishak, I know your character. I know the greed with which you hoard your own compositions. No pupil has ever learned more than one song from your own lips, or been allowed to play more than one song which you yourself have made.
But my songs are my greatest possessions.
Ishak, how can you think that it is you who sings or plays? Or that it is Al-Fadil of Medina? Or even Mabad of Al-Hijaz? It is not them, nor you, nor I. Don't you know that it is God?
Mistress,
How could you have forgotten that it is God, Ishak? You must swear to me that if I teach you the 43rd, you will willingly sing it and every other song to whomever you meet upon the road.
Mistress, I swear. And if I meet no one else on the road, from now on will I sing to the insects, and to the stones, and to the sky itself.
Then listen.
She began that song at half voice in my ear. Her companion began to dance. The vault of heaven moved closer in to listen. The stars began to dance. And the river in all its life began to dance.
What is it? What is it?
could that poor old man have lived so long in a silent house? How he must have suffered, and how frightened he must have been for your sake all this time. You and Doña Zad must return home now to comfort him in his old age. The door is open, Scheherazade, my bride. You must go now.
But my lord, what would my father think of me were I to abandon my little child?
What do you mean? What child?
He took her up and sat her by his side. She sent Doña Zadi from the room.
But before she could explain, Doña Zadi returned. She had with her a small child.
A little girl born during the days of sympathy of the learned and hidden from the king.
What is there not to love?
And everyone rejoiced! Scheherazade's father, the vizier, was sent for and told to put away her shroud. And Doña Zadi was married to the king's brother Shahzaman, and they lived year after year in all delight, knowing days each more admirable than the last. And the nights over Baghdad